Welcome back to Limited Edition, ladies and gentlemen. Today, for your viewing pleasure, we have a 2007 Bentley Arnage T. Let's get started. Well, ladies and gents, I have to make a quick video with this car because I have gotten more calls, more emails on this vehicle than anything that I have ever had for sale in the entire history of my dealership. And this car is not even advertised for sale. It is not currently for sale, but we had this car for about a year. A lot of people, I guess, see it in the background of some of my other videos. And I keep getting calls, like how much for the Arnage, how much for the Arnage. I did not realize the Arnage market was this hot, but it's like I said, it's not for sale yet. It's kind of a long story about this car. I'll just quickly show you guys around it, so to satisfy some people because they're very persistent. This is a one-owner local Palm Beach car. It's all original for the most part. For the past year, I've been fixing kind of little things in the car here and there just to make it 100%. But just for the record, before we even get into it, I personally do not recommend that anybody buy, in their sane mind, buy one of these Arnages. They do have a reputation for being problematic, but I think it's an unjustified reputation. A lot of mechanics don't know what they're doing. A lot of mechanics are just uninformed. Just if you do a little bit of research, it's really not that difficult to work on these cars. Actually, I have done like 90% of the work myself, and it's very DIY friendly. All you have to do is just get a manual, buy a shop manual. They're available, and it pretty much tells you how to do everything. So it's really not that hard. But kind of quickly go over this car. It's like I said, it's a 2007 Arnage T. So this is the high performance version of the Arnage. It makes 500 horsepower. It is all original paint except the sunroof lid. I had to replace it. But we have done a lot of work over the last almost a year. This car has been here. Just little stuff here and there. This is a local Palm Beach one-owner car with extensive service history. If you look at the Carfax, extensive. It's been continuously maintained at the dealership. A lot of stuff has been done. There's detailed information on Carfax as to what has been serviced and what has been done to this vehicle. But, being, obviously almost 20 years old, it still needs like little things here and there, which I have been addressing slowly. The problem with these cars is that parts are very, very expensive. And that what makes the values really tank. I've seen these in the teens. You can buy this for like 10 grand, 15 grand. Please don't. Stay away from these cars. It's it's just financial suicide. These can be a nightmare. But I think these are turning into like enthusiast cars right now. So if you want like a little project, or if you want something that you can work on little by little, I think it's a perfect car. And obviously the attraction is the looks. I mean, just look at this thing. I personally think it's probably one of the most beautiful sedans, maybe second to like a E38 BMW. But it's the looks, the ride, and just the build quality overall is second to none. This is a very nice car, nicely preserved, clean interior, very well optioned vehicle. So it's a Mulliner, so it's kind of like a custom. There's some custom touches here and there. But I did like little things. I'm not gonna like go over every little thing here, but it's like I said, slowly been working on this car. First thing we did is I restored these. It came with 3 keys. I restored, put all these pieces in leather because they were all disintegrating. So you can't find replacements, not existent. I replaced this LCD screen in the middle. Now I have a nice crisp LCD because it had like a LCD burn. Replaced the radio. I had the aftermarket unit. I found an original and put it in here, so now it works. This screen was broken, so I had that. This was kind of a challenge because it took a while to figure out why it wasn't going up. I thought it was a motor. Replaced the motor. That didn't do it. The screen itself was disintegrated because somebody pried this piece, which is attached with double-sided tape. Yes, that's how Bentley did it. And I got the whole assembly replaced, and eventually, I think it works here. But yep, it works. Eventually, what happened was that I looked at the wiring diagram finally, and there's a module that's behind the seat right there that controls the movement up and down, and I replaced that. Actually, somebody spilled something on it, so I replaced the module. Now the screen works. Also got a new NOS remote control that controls that screen. This is, I mean, this is a useless piece of technology because it's outdated, but I just want to make sure everything works in the car. So there you go. So this works. It's only got 46,000 miles on it. Still needs a couple of little things here and there just to make it, to just take it over the finish line. We put new Michelin tires on it, even though tires were replaced last year. It wasn't really driven anywhere, so that the new tires developed flat spots, so I figured I'll change them. I redid the wheels. There was some clear coat peeling from these aluminum wheels, so we redid that. The next in line is we're gonna replace front rotors. It doesn't need brakes. It just has some surface rust on like the caps, so I figured instead of taking them off and repainting them, whatever, just put new parts. These are expensive, so these are all OEM. There's almost $1,000 a piece. Got new brake sensors, got some suspension, front suspension components, OEM brake pads. So all of that's gonna go in. I also replaced the trunk struts. There's 4 of them in there, pain in the ass, and the gas spheres for the suspension. So we replaced that too because the ride was bouncy. But that's like I'm sure the list goes on and on and on of the stuff that I have done, the little things here and there. But that's kind of like your Bentley Arnage. And this is an '07, so it's the first year of a ZF 6-speed. If you're really looking for these cars, I would recommend going this route. '07, '08, '09 were ZF 6-speeds. '09 was the last year. They only made a few hundred of these cars. You're probably going to have a very difficult time finding like an '09. I mean, in general, they've made very few of these cars. That's why parts are hard to find. And I wouldn't recommend getting anything after '99, like between that time frame, like 2000 till about 2005 or 6. They're known to have some head gasket issues. They've solved all of that by '07. In 2005, there was a refresh. So this was the redesign in 2005. But in 2005, it still had a 4-speed GM transmission. So, like I said, this is a ZF 6-speed, which is much, much better. It makes the car a lot more peppy off the line. And obviously, fuel economy improved, etc., etc. But that's kind of like a quick story with this Arnage. I hope you guys enjoy this video. Thanks for watching. Peace.